Hi Shwai, I try to make this video in English. Speaking English is shameful for me live. In this way, through a video camera, is even worse. Anyway, we try. I record you a kind of tutorial to study a song which is called Corcovado, which is a bossa nova. What I want you to do is to learn to comp the bossa nova timing. This song, you can find this song in internet in many different versions. It's quite famous. It's from Jobim. I just try the melody because I'm sure you know it. You can see that I play the melody and also the chord, and here I play a kind of bass line which is typical from bossa nova. What I want you to do is not to play the melody, only to play the chords, but with a kind of right rhythm. At the end, this rhythm will be quite constrict. I mean something written always equal. But then you have to move a little bit, like if you are improvising on kind of two drums set, with your two hands. The bass that you have to do is, of course, to learn the chords. I send you a PDF with the position of chords, really simple. I go through one time. My left hand is not playing exactly the same octave like in the score you have. This is because it's always easier to write things in the middle of the five pentagramma, I mean in the middle of the line. But sometimes you're here, say you that you have to go down or up, and then you have to move it whenever you want, in the way you want. I put it some notes just to give you an idea of the chords. I start from F minor 7, third line. And so on. You have to study it, and then you can try the first rhythmical pattern, which is the left hand is playing. It's 1/4 with point, and then an octave 2 times. The first time is the root, or the first note. Let's speak in C major because it's simpler. You will have your chords here. I put it in a better way. It's like a jazz way with 9. But anyway, or here is the same. But this is C major, and then here you have first and fifth, and your rhythm is made between these two notes. 2 times the first, 2 times the fifth. And the chords can go between the first two and between the other two. In this way you will have. But it's nicer if you have space between this. You can put the chords right after the first beat, or more later. So the difference is so you have to alternate these two possibilities. Far, near. First or written the pattern, so you can study it, and then you go through the whole tune. You will use the two notes I wrote you. Sometimes this for the left hands. Sometimes these two notes are not the root and the fifth, because some chords ask you, for example, the first one, to play D7, but on bass you have to play A. In this case, you will not play the first and the fifth in the bass, but you will play the root in the chord symbol. In this case, it's A, and then the root of the chords, that is D. So in every chord, if there is not this double chords written, you just read the name of the chords and you play the first and the fifth. If you have double chords, this means one chord with another bass. And then you, in the left hands, you will play the bass, the outer ones you to play, and the other note will be the root of the chords. Okay? For D7 is A, D, and the chord. So, let's go through. When you are confident with this, you can move a little bit and try to improvise some rhythm. When you are confident also with this, then you can start moving a little bit your left hands. This means that you have to think always about. You can also study before only the left hands in this way, of course. But then you just have this in your ear, but you put some notes more that are maybe octaves sometimes. Sometimes you can leave the rhythmical pattern, but then you have to come back quite soon. But then again, because you have to go through this pattern many times, because bossa nova is based on this, so you have to play it a lot, but sometimes you can move. So you can make some variation with your left hands, and before you I think it's better if you study separate, or at least you can put the right hands always on the one and moving also only the left. When this is absolutely okay for you, I try to put the video camera a little bit more. Okay. Then you can put some note more. Now I was moving rhythmically, leaving sometimes or often, but this rhythm. But I was always using mostly the first and the fifth and the octave of both. Now I ask you to put sometimes also some notes that is near the chord you have to go, the base of the chord. For example, you are here. No, this is not a good example because they are near the first two. For example, in the second line you have G minor 7 and then C7. So from here you have to go there. G to C, and then you go to this C. You have to go there, and you can arrive there from one tone up or down, or a chromatically way. It's a passing notes for the bass line. It means that okay, you have also this possibility. So you do the same exercise I gave you before, with the right hands always on the beginning of the bar, and here you try to move with octave, rhythm, and also this kind of passing notes. So you have this that has to be rhythmically similar to the bossa nova, and then you work a lot with these hands. This is not improvising so much. This is improvising like a drum, but you don't change a lot of position, and you don't have to use some passing notes, and you have to work there. So if you want, you can study the melody and you can try to also to change it a little bit, because it's nice if you are able to know what the melody is, because you have to accompany someone, so it's nice if you know the melody. I record you one chorus of the melody, so you can try to comping my melody without hearing my terrible voice, because I'm not good in singing, especially when I have to play, because I'm not good in keeping the intonation if I have to think about something else. I'm not a singer, and I normally sing what I play, so it's difficult for me. Anyway, I play the melody and you try to comping me. I do 2 choruses of that, so you have time to go through. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, then let's make a kind of schema what you have to do. First, you study the chords, reading my score. Second one, you use the 2 bass to do this rhythm that is written. You try to put the chords between the first 2 notes and the second 2 in 2 different positions, far and near, far and near, far and near, far and study also the opposite, near before and then far. Then you come back with the right hands on the 1, or anyway you don't care this hands, you put it wherever you are able to do it, but it's not a problem. What you do is to use the octave of the 2 notes. Sometimes you can use also the other notes in the octave to make movement with the left hands. You have to play mostly this rhythm, but if you need to reach an octave, maybe you have needs time, and then you can change the rhythm, but you have to come back to this pattern often. Then, when this is okay, you can maybe try keeping this in confidence. Then you have to move also this one. That I didn't tell you before, I would like you also to make some really improvisation with this rhythm, with this hands that is making the easiest stuff. This means this with the right note, but this can move freely. Oh, sorry. Then we will have to work another time with the left hands. We need to make passive notes near the note you have to go. Now I'm doing it a lot. This is too much, but when you study, you have to make exercise on this, so you do it a lot. When you camping in reality, then it's like cooking. You don't put too much salt or pepper, so you need to know some possibilities, but you don't have to do it all the time in the tune. Now we make it strongly and too much to study it. The last things is to play it freely, moving this in the way you want. And you can use my melody to study it with it. Bye, see you soon.